Okay, everyone, back at creating a video. And for those in Canada, for this is Happy Canada Day. So I'm going to create something that I've made before. When I first started doing engraving, I was asked by a customer to create a custom crib board. And at that point, I had no idea how to actually do one of those. And the fact that the shape that they wanted in was not something that you would normally see. A little hesitant at first, but I do not normally turn down a challenge. So this challenge was, well, I completed it and I actually made about 6 of these. And borrowing a drill press from a neighbor, I was able to get all the holes drilled in my piece of wood. Now that I have my own drill press, I've actually created quite a number of crib boards. Now, the one that I created for a couple of my old high school friends was this. And it's a really nice design. It's a circular crib board. And if I zoom in, you can see that there's all my crib board marking holes, my 29 hand, and actual scoring for the 29 hand. So I'm going to create one of these. I actually have my own template, but I'm going to show you how I built my template. So let's go into LightBurn and let's start off by creating a circle. And so you want this on my black layer, and I actually want it about 10 inches. Okay, so there's my circle for my crib board. Now, the next thing I need some spots for my crib pegs. So once again, I'm going to get my ellipse and I'm going to make these 2.5 and put my red layer. Now, the next thing I need is for my 3-track, I need to create my 3 holes. So I have my 3 peg holes there. I'm going to group my results now. It's going to make it easier later on. Okay. And I want to center this horizontally. So I'm going to start in the middle. And just going to move it over close to the edge, but not right on the edge. Now, the next step is you can do it a couple of ways. You can use your circular array, but for this, I'm going to stick with the other possible one, which is copy along paths. I select my peg holes markers and my circle. I go arrange, copy along path, rotate, and I've already calculated this out. I need 150 holes. Well, I don't really need 150 holes, but I need 150 of those. Okay, so there's my crib board peg hole markers. Now, I don't need them all. But the next step is I'm going to need, as you see in my picture, so I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. I need to have these bars, and they actually take place of the actual crib board holes, as well as deleting some down here. And I'll get to that part in just a bit. Let's go back to LightBurn. So what I decided, I'm going to need a template rectangle. So switch to a rectangle, and this one is 2 millimeters by 18 millimeters. So let's just do this. And I'm going to put it on my template layer so I can get there. And height is 2, and the width is 18. Oops, don't need. Let's gotta get this back to 2 here. Oops, 2. Oh, I gotta take this off. Okay, so there is my marker, and I'm gonna rotate it 9 degrees clockwise. I could have done it the other way. Now, what I want to do, I need to place this in a certain spot. Okay, now this is the tricky part. Now, wherever you place it, you can always rotate your circle. What I want to do is I want to use this start line right here, these three, that group as my start line. So I'm going to take this box. Now, I have to do a couple things with this box. Okay. First of all, I'm actually, why don't I just fill that in? So let me create another couple of rectangles. And this one is going to be width of 2 and a height of 5. And I'm going to put it on my blue layer. And I'm going to center, oops, go back, keep forgetting that. I'm going to center it vertically on the thing, and I'm also going to go set it on the top. And I'm going to duplicate that, and I'm going to put this on the bottom. Okay, so there's my template box. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is, you notice that all my numbers are all count up to 120. So what I did, I created a CSV file with all the divisions of my numbers of my crib board. Okay, so I did that. So that's all sitting in the background. So the next thing I need to do is create some text. Now, I need to create some text, and I want to use my percent symbol, and I want to make this merge CSV. Okay. Now, I need to rotate that 90 degrees counterclockwise, and I need to make it smaller. Now, I'm looking at my notes here. Has to fit in there. So let me just zoom in here. Oops, need to zoom in here. Okay. I still need to make this smaller. And I want to center it in here. Okay, then I'm going to group all this. Going to group all that. Okay, so the next thing, I need to set my variable text. So I have a variable text tab. If you don't have that, you just go up to Window and select variable text. So my variable text, now I want to browse for my CSV file. And it is my crib SVG, CSV right here. Now, if I just go to preview this, you'll see that that's set at 5. Well, I don't want the first one at 5, but that's okay for now. We're gonna get rid of that later. And I'm going to group all this. It's all grouped. And I'm going to center it on here. Okay. So the next trick is I need to, I believe I get 20 of these. 25 place bond. Okay. Let me see here. Let's go back here. Now, I'm going to take this. Once again, I want to wrap this around the circle. So I wrap around the circle and arrange copy along path. Once again, I want to make sure I rotate my copies. And I need 25 of them. Amazing how that works, right? Now go okay. Now what you're going to see if I go to preview mode now, that there's 120, there's 5. Now, didn't quite put it in the right spot. Okay, so I actually want 120 right here and the 5 right here. So let's just undo this. So this is where you undo that. Now, this is my start. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I want to put this one here. So I need to take this and rotate it a little bit. Okay, once again, there's my start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to put it on here. So I'll take this and I want to line it up the best I can. This is the tricky part. Looks almost pretty good. Maybe just move it over a little. That's too much. And there. Okay, so now that I have it pretty much where I want it to go, I can take this. Once again, I'm going to do my arrange, copy along path. Remember, I needed 25 of them. Make sure I rotate those. Now, when I preview, 120 is where I want it. And then 5 is exactly where I want it. And this is empty, which is what I want. Okay. So, got that. Now comes the deletion part. Okay, since all my red dots are grouped, I can pick the red dot. Oops, wrong one. Probably easiest way is to turn off output of the blue. There. And I want to go through, oops, and delete all these again. Okay, this is going to take a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this part 1. I'm going to finish deleting all those peg hole spots, and I will come back and we'll carry on with part 2. So stay tuned. We're just getting started. Take care.